Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel, and I am Mehreen. Today I have come with a very fascinating and amazing novel which was written by William Golding. William Golding is a Nobel Prize winner, and this is also a very strange fact that this novel was rejected by many publishers, and some of them also called it a rubbish. The novel is set during an unspecified war, but it's implied to be World War II. Golding was fascinated by the concept of human nature and how it relates to civilization. During World War II, many British children were evacuated from cities to the countryside to escape bombing. This inspired Golding's concept of a group of boys stranded on an island. This video is going to be a little bit long, so be with me and keep enjoying this story. In the midst of a raging war, a plane evacuating a group of schoolboys from Britain is shot down over a deserted tropical island. Two of the boys, Ralph and Piggy, discovered a conch shell on the beach, and Piggy realizes it could be used as a horn to summon the other boys. Ralph is the protagonist of William Golding's novel, and Ralph is described as a fair-haired, athletic and charismatic boy. Ralph is initially portrayed as a responsible, organized and natural leader. He is elected as the chief of the group and tries to create a sense of order and civility on the island. He has a natural ability to lead and inspire others. He remains hopeful and positive even in the face of adversity. On the other hand, Piggy is also a significant character. Piggy is an overweight, asthmatic boy who wears glasses, and his glasses will play a very important role in the novel. He is intelligent, rational and wise beyond his years. He is also sensitive, compassionate and loyal. Piggy serves as a voice of reason and intellect on the island. He provides a more mature and thoughtful perspective on the situation, often warning the others about the dangers of their actions. But on the other hand, Piggy's asthma and weight make him vulnerable and less able to participate in physical activities. Piggy and Ralph use this conch shell as a horn to summon the other boys, because they know that there were so many other boys in the plane with them. Once assembled, all the boys set about electing a leader and devising a way to be rescued. They choose Ralph as their leader, and Ralph appoints another boy, Jack, to be in charge of the boys who will hunt food for the entire group, because right now they are all hungry and they want to eat something. Ralph, Jack and another boy, Simon, set off on an expedition to explore the island. When they return, Ralph declares that they must light a signal fire to attract the attention of passing ships. The boys succeed in igniting some dead wood by focusing sunlight through the lenses of Piggy's eyeglasses. Ralph is of the view that this fire must be continued so that they may send signals to the passing by ships, but unfortunately the boys pay more attention to playing than to monitoring the fire, and the flames quickly engulf the forest. A large swath of dead wood burns out of control, and one of the youngest boys in the group disappears, presumably having burned to death. On the island, at first, the boys enjoy their life without grown-ups and spend much of their time splashing in the water and playing games. Ralph, however, complains that they should be maintaining the signal fire and building huts for shelter. The hunters fail in their attempt to catch a wild pig, but their leader Jack becomes increasingly preoccupied with the act of hunting. In the novel, the hunters are a group of boys led by Jack Marridew. They are primarily responsible for hunting and providing meat for the group. The hunters become increasingly aggressive and savage as the novel progresses, and their group eventually splits from Ralph's group to form their own tribe. Some notable members of Jack's hunting group include Jack Marridew, who is the leader, Roger, Robert, Morris, and Bill. Initially, their duty was to provide meat and food to other boys. Besides, the boys on the island divide themselves into categories based on their age, physical characteristics, and personalities. The older boys, around 12 to 13 years old, are called the Biguns. They initially take charge and try to create a sense of order. Ralph, Jack, and Piggy, they are the Biguns. While the younger boys, around 6 to 7 years old, who are often bullied and marginalized, they are called Little Uns. Percival, Henry, and the twins Sam and Eric are the part of the Little Uns. These categories are not rigid, and some boys, like Simon, don't fit neatly into either group. The divisions between the big uns and little uns reflect the social hierarchies and power dynamics that exist in the real world. After a few days, when a ship passes by on the horizon, Ralph and Piggy notice to their horror that the signal fire, which had been the hunter's responsibility to maintain, has burned out. Furious, Ralph accuses Jack, but the hunter has just returned with the first kill, and all the hunters seem gripped with a strange frenzy, reenacting the chase in a kind of wild dance. Piggy criticizes Jack, who hits Piggy across the face. Ralph blows the conch shell and reprimands the boys in a speech intended to restore order. As of course, this was the role of Ralph to maintain order and civility among the boys. At the meeting, it quickly becomes clear that some of the boys have started to become afraid of Beast. The littlest boys, known as Little Uns, have been troubled by nightmares from the beginning, and more boys now believe that there is some sort of beast or monster lurking on the island. The older boys try to convince the others at the meeting to think rationally, asking where such a monster could possibly hide during the daytime. One of the Little Uns suggests that it hides in the sea, a proposition that terrifies the entire group. Not long after the meeting, some military planes engage in a battle high above the island. The boys asleep below do not notice the flashing lights and explosions in the clouds. A parachutist drifts to earth on the Signal Fire mountain, but he's dead. Sam and Eric, the twins responsible for watching the fire at night, are asleep and do not see the parachutist land. When the twins wake up, they see the enormous silhouette of his parachute and hear the strange flapping noise that it makes. Thinking the island beast is at hand, they rush back to the camp in terror and report that the beast has attacked them. The boys organize a hunting expedition to search for the monster. Jack and Ralph, who are increasingly at odds, travel up the mountain. They see the shadow, the black shadow of the parachutist from a distance and think that it looks like a huge deformed ape. And the group holds a meeting at which Jack and Ralph tell the others of the sighting. Jack says that Ralph is a coward and that he should be removed from the office, but the other boys refuse to vote Ralph out of power. Jack angrily runs away down the beach, calling all the hunters to join him. Ralph rallies the remaining boys to build a new signal fire, this time on the beach rather than on the mountain. They obey, but before they have finished this task, most of them have slipped away to join Jack's tribe. Jack declares himself the leader of the new tribe of hunters and organizes a hunt and a violent ritual slaughter of a sow to solemnize the occasion. Place its head on a sharpened stake in the jungle as an offering to the beast. Later, encountering the bloody fly-covered head, Simon has a terrible vision during which it seems to him that the head is speaking. The voice, which he imagines as belonging to the Lord of the Flies, says that Simon will never escape him, for Simon is dead. The following morning, Ralph and Piggy discuss what they have done. Jack's hunters attack them and their few followers and steal Piggy's glasses in the process. Ralph's group travels to Jack's stronghold in an attempt to. Ralph hides for the rest of the night and the following day while the others hunt him like an animal. Jack has the other boys ignite the forest in order to smoke Ralph out of the hiding place. Ralph stays in the forest where he discovers and destroys the saw's head, but eventually he is forced out onto the beach where he knows the other boys will soon arrive to kill him. Ralph collapses in exhaustion, but when he looks up, he sees a British naval officer standing over him. The officer's ship noticed the fire raging in the jungle. The other boys reach the beach and stop in their tracks at the sight of the officer. Amazed at the spectacle of this group of bloodthirsty, savage, uncivilized children, the officer asks Ralph to explain. Ralph is overwhelmed by the knowledge that he is safe, but thinking about what has happened on the island, he begins to weep. After all, he was a kid. The other boys begin to sob as well. The officer turns his back so that the boys may regain their composure. Officer comes on shore, reintroducing civilization, and the boys realize the horror they have endured and perpetuated. The book ends with the island destroyed and the boys rescued, but scared by their glimpses into the darkness of man's